Hi guys, me again, and welcome to episode 12 of Being Bubbly. I am so excited for today's episode. I feel like it's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks since I have done a solo podcast episode. I know I've recently had on my sisters, and then the last episode I had on Alyssa DeChico from Nashville Bride Guide, who was absolutely lovely. It was so much fun chatting with her. But I kind of missed talking, I guess, to myself. But I'm really excited to kind of share just everything that's basically been happening over the last few weeks. I figured what's more relatable than my innermost thoughts about things that I am doing on an everyday basis. In terms of our Lily Fit check, as you can see, I am rocking a seashell lily pink number. I'm actually very excited. I am going to be wearing this. We are going to high tea next week. We'll talk a little bit about, we have an upcoming trip to London. We're leaving in a couple of days. So I am going to be wearing this with some pearls and pearl earrings. I figured that's very high tea, very Ritz. But yeah, like I said, haven't really chatted with myself in a while. In terms of today's episode, it's going to be probably a quick one. Shocker, not much has been going on in the last month or so. Just want to share in terms of where we are in summer. My husband has been away on a work trip the last 6 days. So doing like solo parenting has been super fun. And then we have an upcoming trip that we are getting ready for. And that basically has taken up my entire life. So let's get into it so I can share all my bubbly thoughts. First things first, happy summer. I can't believe it's literally only been 7 days of summer. The first day of summer is June 20th. It's June 27th. And yet I feel like we have been summering for the last 2 months, which is bizarre. I don't know if this is just like a me thing or if anyone else there can relate, but anytime I see someone new, the go-to question is like, hey, how's your summer going? And when in reality, it literally has just been a week and I feel like everyone is booked and busy and it's a little chaotic. I'm not going to lie. If you lived in the Northeast this week, honestly, I feel like everywhere in the country, there was this crazy heat wave. It was so unbearably hot. You literally could not go outside. It brought me back to my days when I lived in Tampa, Florida, where you literally don't go outside for the months of May to August because you just immediately drench through your shirt. So we got to experience that up in the Northeast, which was super fun. And then yesterday we woke up and it was literally 56 degrees. So talk about a crazy drop in temperature, but that's again just New England weather for you. But yeah, this idea of summer is just really stressing me out. I feel like we are booked with things happening every week, happening every weekend. This year we bought a beach pass because we're like, oh my God, we want to go to the beach every weekend. We have a drive on beach a couple towns over from us. So we're really excited. And we literally looked at the calendar and there's maybe one day every couple of weekends where we can actually go and use the beach, which is just so crazy. Everyone, I feel like, slams everything in during the summer. Again, I contribute to that because everything that we have going on, I have had a part in booking things. So my fault there, but summer's just crazy and I'm tired and it literally just started 7 days ago. Not to mention, we've gone to a couple of friends' house within the last week or so. And I have felt like I am a terrible mom because I don't really have a lot of things for Millie to do outside. We're in that weird phase where she's not walking yet. So she can't really do the playground yet, which we're very excited for when that time comes. We have a couple local playgrounds that we want to go explore, but she's still kind of just crawling around everywhere. And when she crawls around outside, she gets so dirty. So it's not like my favorite thing to do to bring her outside because then you have to give her a bath every single time. But I will say at daycare, they go outside like multiple times and she goes in the sandbox and explores. And she loves it. But again, she comes home filthy. But we were at a couple of friends' house and they have one of the families has multiple kids. She has two. And so it's just like outdoor toys galore. And so I was there and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even have like one of those plastic pools for her. So I quickly ordered that on Amazon, which of course it got delayed and I needed it here when it was like 100 degrees outside. And now it's going to come and it's only 70 degrees. So I'm annoyed with Amazon, but whatever. But yeah, so I have been researching the best outdoor toys for toddlers. So my husband is not going to be thrilled with my Amazon packages that I have coming because I kind of just panic bought all the toys that I've been seeing at our friend's house. But I will say Millie loves anything with water. So like inflatable pools, water tables, all the things. She's obsessed. So that's been really fun. And that will likely cool her down on those hot summer days. But yeah, let's just say I've been panic ordering. Obviously helps when I've had a glass of rosé or two because then I don't feel really bad about it. But yeah, I got to step up our outdoor summer game situation. Other summer related things, I planted some beautiful flower pots in spring. They're dead. The heat this week had got to them and yeah, so I don't have beautiful flower pots anymore. Granted, probably my fault. I didn't really water them. So that's probably why. Plus 100-degree heat does not make for beautiful, luscious flowers, but perhaps we'll try again. Perhaps not, because I'm, again, not very good at taking care of them. Oh, and does anyone have like crazy little ants? I'm finding them in like the most random places. I don't know if it's the heat or what. They haven't really been that big of a problem before, but I'm noticing this season they keep coming and they're driving me nuts. So the ants have not been very fun. And other than that, it's summer. It's nice to see all the kids in the neighborhood. Obviously, school's out. So the kids are out. I was in bed the other night and my neighbors were outside playing basketball and arguing with each other. And it was just lovely. So 'tis the season. Happy summer. And is it too soon to say I'm kind of ready for fall? I don't know. Something else that has kind of been taking up my brain space is my husband got a new job, which he is very excited for. And so he is going to be doing a lot of traveling. He's going to be working in New York City often, which will be exciting because we can go down and visit. And I'm very excited for New York in the wintertime, Christmas. I love a New York City trip during Christmas time. So very excited there. However, he has been traveling this entire week. And anytime I tell that to people, they're like, oh my gosh, we feel so bad for you. It must be so hard. Like, can I just say, and this might be unpopular, I don't really know. I love when my husband is traveling because Millie and I can do whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it, and however we want to do it. So we've been eating all of the foods that we want to eat, which if you know Millie and myself, a couple trips to McDonald's, lots of French fries, ice cream for dinner. Sure. We are waking up and staying in our PJs a lot longer and bedtime is a lot earlier, which if you know me, you know I love being in bed. I honestly, if I am not showered, skincare done, heating pad on, in my bed I'll be generous and give myself 8 o'clock. It's really like 7:30. I am not happy. So I have literally been putting Millie down, cleaning up her toys, getting in the shower, getting into bed, and watching all of my favorite Bravo shows and going to bed so incredibly early and loving every minute of it. So yes, do I wish that I have a little bit more help with my husband being home where I can like go to the store or go to Orange Theory and not have to like worry about making sure that Millie's covered? Yes, of course. However, that's where family and babysitters come in because they come and help. And so I get to go do those errands, which I'm very grateful for. And of course, it is nice to miss your husband. So Kevin and I, most of you probably know, but we work from home together. So we are with each other all day, every day, which is lovely. I can't complain. But it is nice to miss the other person. And then when they come home, you're very excited, whatever. But yeah, Millie and I honestly have been living our best life this week. And I'm not embarrassed to say that because I actually don't think Kevin will listen to this episode. I do think he listens. I've probably said it before, but I do think he listens to them on mute, which honestly is fine. I get the view anyway, and I don't really like him listening to me talking. So it's a win-win for all. So I don't think he's ever going to listen to me say, like, I love when he travels. Now, is he going to be traveling a lot more? Yeah. So we'll reassess come winter how much I'm loving all the traveling. But listen, I love my me time. I love my Millie time. And we like to just chill in our PJs, eating junk food with no one judging us. Sue us. Speaking of doing solo parenting, I had to pause for a moment and check Millie's camera because I can hear her squawking in the other room because I don't have coverage for her. And we kept her home from daycare the last couple of days, well, honestly, all week, because there's a little bit of hand, foot, and mouth going around her daycare. And then we just got another notification of this other new lovely respiratory illness I've never heard of. And so we have our trip next week. And so I was like, let's just keep her home. So yeah, she's been here and not taking her nap, what she should be doing right now. So I'm watching her throw all of her stuffies out of her crib right now, which is just so lovely. But yeah, like I said, it's been a great week. And the other thing that has honestly really been taking up my brain space the last few weeks, a little bit more than it probably should, is we have our family vacation we have been talking about for well over a year now. So it's going to be a Johnson family vacation. We are heading across the pond to London in a couple of days. We are so excited. London is one of my favorite cities to visit. Absolutely love it. We are going to celebrate my mom's 60th birthday. She wanted to celebrate her 60th at high tea at the Ritz. So very bougie, but I'm not complaining because, well, I will say she wanted to go celebrate her 60th birthday with my dad at high tea at the Ritz. And then my sisters and I kind of got word and kind of took over and said we're coming. So, but I have kind of taken the reins on booking and planning all of the travel, which has been very fun, also very stressful. And so that has kind of consumed my free time when I'm on my computer. And I have hopefully finalized the itinerary. I've edited it and changed it 1,000 times. I have to say, not only just like traveling anywhere, whether you are going in the car, on a plane, on a train, wherever, like traveling with a baby or a toddler or children, if you have children, you know, is not for the faint of heart. It is all things logistics. You need to plan ahead. I'm not a planner, nor is my husband. And so this is an area where I struggle with, is having everything like organized and planned out. And I'm trying to be proactive and organized for this trip. I would give myself like a B plus so far. Multiply that by like 5 when you're flying international with a baby. It's not easy, and nor did I think it would be, right? Obviously, you need to make sure she has a passport, which we did, which is the cutest photo, and her getting a passport is quite the experience. She had a lot of fans at our local post office when we were taking the passport photo. But when you're booking travel and you're flying abroad with an infant or a baby, you actually have to physically call the airline, which I couldn't tell you the last time I actually had to like call somewhere to book something. Like everything is online, everything's on an app, everything's on a website. So when they were like, "Oh, you're trying to fly with a baby, you need to call the airline." I was like, "I don't how do I do that?" Like how did people in like the 90s and before then do that? Like I used to do that before like all of this, but it just was like a very weird experience for me. But the customer service for Delta and Virgin were fabulous. And so we were able to get her booked. But I will say it is a little misleading because everyone tells you like you can fly or you can fly with your baby if they're under 2 for free. That does not count internationally because of taxes when you go across the ocean. And so we had to pay taxes on her, which I think was like $300, but still. So again, like a lot of just like different nuances that I didn't really think about. And then I love, love, love. We are an Up a Baby family. We have the Up a Baby Vista V2 stroller. Um, have loved it, still love it, but it is really bulky and clunky and really heavy. So it is not like super easy to travel with. And so knowing that we're going to be on the go, she's going to be in her stroller a lot. We're going to be going into like museums and there's going to be a lot of like escalators and things like that. We did buy a new travel stroller. I ended up going with the Zoe. I'm very excited. We've taken it for a couple test runs around the neighborhood. And it seems to be working really nicely. It's so compact. So I'm really excited about that. But again, that was another $300 stroller that we had to buy because we were traveling. Oh, and yes. So other things that we have had to buy, and when I say we, I mean me, in terms of planning for traveling with our baby internationally. I don't know like what brands of things they have over there. And so like I need to make sure that we have all of our like medications and like even diapers. I'm like, do they have Huggies or Pampers in the UK? I honestly have no idea. So we are planning on basically bringing everything so that we don't need to buy anything over there, where like previous places we've gone, whether we're, driving down to Connecticut to visit my parents or going down to Florida or wherever, like you can go to any local CVS and get Tylenol or Motrin or, all of the brands that we use every day. But I don't know what they have over there. So I'm just like trying to be proactive and buy everything. Again, my husband is not going to be happy when he looks at all of my recent Amazon charges, but that's okay. You can't put a price on good health and safety, in my opinion. It's just a lot of planning, a lot of organization, trying to plan out outfits during the day, outfits at night, not only for myself, but with Millie. Her and I are sharing a suitcase. I am known to be an overpacker. I am known to teeter at like the 48.5, 49 pounds per bag. So this is going to be very interesting because I am not looking to start our vacation on the wrong foot. That typically is what happens when my bag is over 50 pounds. Not only with my husband, but also traveling with my father, who I think gets even more mad than my husband does when it comes to packing and luggage and paying the overage fees. So need to be very mindful of that. Other things in terms of traveling with a toddler that have just consumed me. This is really fun. So I don't know if you can hear her. She's screaming right now. She's at this like weird weight limit and height limit where she's like in between her infant car seat and then the like transition car seat. So in my car, she has the full like toddler transition car seat. I got the one that swivels, which by the way, if you do not have a swivel car seat after your child is an infant, you are doing it all wrong. The swivel is game changing. But in my husband's car, she still is using her infant car seat because she's within the weight limit and height limit by like maybe an inch. Like she's like really teetering. But I'm hoping she doesn't grow an inch in the next like 3 days because her infant car seat is just so much easier to travel with. So I'm really hoping she can just stay her height, which is 31 inches, which I am going to lie, because on our flight, I put in for one of those like infant bassinets that I didn't even know existed. But when you're traveling on long flights, you can do, if you sit in a row that has like the wall in front of you, they hook up these like infant bassinets so that the babies can sleep on like the overnight flights. So I did put in for those. It's first come, first serve. So like fingers crossed, we'll find out when we get to the airport. But the height or length limit of the baby is 30 inches. She's 31. So I am going to tell a little white lie and say that she's 29 and a half. And we'll see what they say. I'm just putting that out there. That makes me think about when we were little and we would go to Disney World, and my sisters and I would, be like 1 to 2 inches under the height limit for like Splash Mountain or Space Mountain, one of the big roller coasters. And so my mom used to get us, those like, not Keds, because Keds don't have like a heel, but the like Converse Ked type shoes that had the like really chunky like platform sneaker shoe. So my mom would get us those for when we were going to Disney World, because that would give you a couple inches. And then she would have our hair put up in a big bun with a hat on to give us a couple inches. So yeah, Linda, she was scrappy when it came down to those rides and making sure we got on, which looking back, like they have height and weight limits for a reason. So a little bit alarming that we were so far off and yet we're able to get on. But nonetheless, I'm going to do that with Millie, because if I could get her to sleep in that bassinet, fabulous. I am going to be very excited. Otherwise, I am going to be handing her off to Lindsay, and Lindsay and her can catch up and snuggle the entire 5.5-hour flight. So Kevin and I can just chill. Again, that's why you travel with family, because you get to do that. Another thing that I've been thinking about in terms of, honestly, not even just like traveling, just like day to day, is like, how the hell do you dress for weather? I get very anxious about weather when it comes to like upcoming events or trips, because I want to pack correctly. I want to make sure what I'm wearing matches the appropriate type of weather. And so trying to figure out and pack for just random weather is really annoying. I think over there it's like 70, in like the mid 70s, which is beautiful, but I'm always chilly. So then it's like, okay, do I do pants with a sweater? But we're also talking, we're in the middle of July. And then 74, a cloudy 74 is very different than a sunny 74. So it's like, well, what the hell do you do? So that's just me. Again, not just like when I'm traveling, just like on an everyday, if we're going out somewhere, like, is it a sunny 80? Is it a cloudy 80? Because I just never know, and I'm always cold. And so I always end up overpacking and bringing layers. And then again, you wonder why my bag is always over 50 pounds, because I panic. But yeah, very excited. Family trip. We're going to see how it goes. We're traveling in a pack of 7, 6 adults, 1 baby. I am going to do an episode when we get back, just kind of like recapping all of our favorite spots in London, the hotel we're staying at. I'm very excited, and just want to share just silly anecdotes about our trip, because a lot of things go down on family trips that are very relatable and embarrassing and fun. And so I want to spill all the tea. See what I did there? We're going to London, spill the tea. I was proud of myself. We are excited to celebrate Mimi's 60th birthday. And other than that, life has just been lifing. Work, super quiet just because schools are out of session. August is going to be like my busy month. So that will be fun, but the next couple of weeks remain pretty quiet, which is nice. And yeah, we've just been enjoying time with Millie outside, and that's about it. In terms of what's next for Being Bubbly, I'm going to take the next couple of weeks off just because we're going to be away and just a lot going on in the summer. So probably most of July. We won't have any new episodes, but I will be back beginning of August. And I'm really excited to get some episodes recorded and ready to get uploaded come August. I know I've mentioned we're going to be having more guests. A lot of the feedback has been super positive with just people enjoying the different interviews and having other people and voices on, which is really exciting. So again, a lot of great things to happen. We'll come back, finish up season 1. So very excited for what is next for us. And I think that's about it. Like I said, today is going to be just kind of a little quickie. I do have my Being Bubbly glass. I will say, I'm not going to be fake and pretend this is champagne. This is a little bubbly seltzer, simply because I don't have any wine or rosé, and I really didn't feel like cracking open a beer right now. But Kevin he has been in San Fran, but they went to Napa. And so I did drop a couple of hints that I'm really hoping he brings back some good wine or ships some good wine home. So I will keep you posted there. Other than that, cheers to being bubbly. See you soon. Bye.